Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the maps in Battlefield 4. Now recently, if you have been watching my videos, you will know that a lot of people have been very excited about the prospect of more Battlefield 3 maps making a return into Battlefield 4. So taking a look at the poll, currently we still have Grand Bazaar in first place with 14% of the vote. Noshaw Canals has now moved up to second place with 10% of the vote. Just behind that, on an equal 10%, we have Seine Crossing, and in fourth place we have Zebra Tower. So apparently, these are the four most popular maps in Battlefield 3 that people would still love to see make a return into Battlefield 4. Now, to be honest, these results haven't surprised me. After reading through all of your comments on my video about the new Second Assault or Third Assault DLC, it did seem pretty unanimous that a lot of you guys did want to see Noshaw Canals, Seine Crossing, Grand Bazaar. All of these maps were massively popular in Battlefield 3. And it is pretty easy to understand. They were well-designed maps, they played well, they looked good, and most importantly, they were fun maps to play. So these probably will go down some of the best maps in the Battlefield series. But this got me thinking, is there anything equivalent in Battlefield 4? Are there any maps that we will look back on in the future with fond memories? Of course, Battlefield 3, for me it's all about Grand Bazaar, Seine Crossing. They're the two maps that immediately jump to my mind when you mention Battlefield 3. But Battlefield 4, is there any maps you feel so fond of? Let's say, for example, in Battlefield 5, if you were to see a DLC bringing back Battlefield 4 maps, which maps would you actually want to see? Now, of course, we do still have one more DLC for Battlefield 4, which means we still have 4 new maps to look forward to, but all the same, down in the description below, I have left a link to a straw poll. I want all of you guys to go and vote. It will only take a few seconds. I want to gather as much information as I can to see which truly are the 4 most popular maps in Battlefield 4. So, in the description below, click on the link for the straw poll and vote of 4 maps that you enjoy the most from this game, that if we were to see a Battlefield 5 that you would love to see make a return as a Second Assault style DLC in the future, because at the moment I don't think there is a clear contender as the best map in this game. As I said, for Battlefield 3 it was pretty unanimous that either Noshaw Canals, Seine Crossing or Grand Bazaar were definitely going to be up there as the top 3 best maps. But with Battlefield 4, it just doesn't seem quite as clear, quite as black and white to see which are the best and most popular maps in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see your feedback on the poll. For me personally, I'm going to go out on a limb here and tell you guys, I just don't think the maps in Battlefield 4 are as good as Battlefield 3. They just don't seem to cut it. With Battlefield 3, if I wanted to play a certain game, I knew I could jump on a game of Noshaw Canals, Seine Crossing, and I would have a good time. With Battlefield 4, I seem to spend so long on the server browser just trying to pick a map I think I'll have fun on. Now, I used to really enjoy this map, of course, Operation Locker. It was one of the most popular maps for me when the game first came out. I played it to death, and then suddenly it died off. It became a lot of stalemates, a lot of choke points, and I just got bored of those very tight firefights. Now, whether or not that's because of the issues of the netcode and the problems with the game that just made these maps not that enjoyable, but all the same, this map for me did get a little bit tedious very quickly. So for me, the maps that have stood the test of time and really stood out, in first place probably does have to be Flood Zone. Now, I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me on that, and it's interesting because originally I absolutely hated that map, but slowly over time it has become probably the most enjoyable map for me personally. I always just seem to do well on that map. Now, I had been hoping for something similar with Pearl Market. Of course, it is a very similar looking map, it feels the same, it plays very similar, but I can tell you guys, a few weeks down the line, I still definitely do not enjoy that map. Now, in my second slot, it probably has to be Zavod 311. This was the first map I actually played from Battlefield 4. Of course, before the beta came out, I got a chance to go down to EGX London, and on the Xbox One, we got to play on this map. So it was my first experience of Battlefield 4, and it was a pretty good experience. It is a great map for domination, team deathmatch, small conquest games. There are a few issues sometimes with people camping on the roofs of the buildings, but all the same, it is a good map. Now, in the third place spot, we have something a little bit different from China Rising, and that is the map Silk Road. Now, this map was good for a number of different reasons. If you are an infantry player like myself, it had a really good area for team deathmatch and domination that actually reminded me of an old school arena type shooter, which I really did enjoy. But also, if you do want to play big games of Conquest Large, it is a good map with a lot of vehicles and aircraft, so it is actually a really good all-round map. Now, alongside that, we also have Siege of Shanghai, the map that did feature in the beta, so naturally meant we all played that map for a lot of hours before the game was even released. So that meant when the game was released, Siege of Shanghai was a map I tried to avoid. I'd probably put 30 or 40 hours into that map, so when the full game's released, of course you want to try out different maps. But as time has gone on, I have gone back to that map, and I have to say, I can now see why it was featured in the beta. It probably is one of the more successful maps in this game. But down in the comment section below, I want to hear from you. What is your opinion? Do you agree with my top 4 maps? Which do you think are the best from Battlefield 4? And of course, don't forget to fill in the straw poll. The link is in the description. I want to gather as much information from you guys as I can. Vote on your 4 favourite maps that you would like to see make a return in a future Battlefield game. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, a like is always appreciated. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.